Sup? It's Greggatron. Happy Sunday, and I hope you like my shirt. Yeah! I got this shirt from GameStop. Speaking of games, so today's video is going to be about the Squid Games. And it's a spoiler video, Squid Game Season 2. If you haven't seen Squid Game Season 2 yet, come back to this video later. Watch it. If you haven't seen the first season, watch that too. Because some people say, well, I don't watch that stuff. I don't like that kind of stuff, right? But you might have a change of heart in the future. You might end up watching it. So I recommend you come back and watch this video later. You've been warned. Alright. Where do I begin? So this season starts out totally different. And I like this season because it's about, quote unquote, something else. Like, season 1 is about the games themselves, the Squid Games. Whereas this season is about shutting down the games, or at least trying to shut it down, putting an end to it. So the beginning of this season starts out kind of slow because they had to lay down a different type of foundation, opposed to it just being about the main character. This is about the main character on one end, but on the other end it's about the organization of the good guys, or the rebels, whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. They're trying to shut this stuff down. So it started out a little bit slow, but I was alright with it because it all added up. Let me talk about the games themselves. The games were actually really interesting, and I liked it in the sense that they didn't just have the same repeat games. The first game was the same, and even that, I liked how they went about it, because the main character, as you know, he's the only person who knew about the games, because he was the winner in the last season. He came back trying to shut it down. So I thought it was cool how he was like leading the troops, leading the people into life instead of death. He's warning all these people, don't do this, don't move, don't make a move. And he's like, don't even talk. When he talks, I like how he covers his mouth so the machine doesn't see any type of movement for the red light, green light. I thought that was really great. But enough about the red light, green light. I want to get into the other two games that I really liked. The first one I really liked was that game when they had to team up into groups of 5, and each individual in that group had to play a different game, but they had to travel, they had to navigate in a group to get to that point and complete the whole circuit before time runs out. And if they don't, that whole team dies. I loved that. And when people found out that one group made it, all the other groups start cheering. They're all excited. They got confidence now. Like, I love that stuff. That was so cool. That was deep. And then I also noticed I really liked the characters in this season. Like, I remember in season 1, I really liked the old man who the main character had developed a relationship with, a friendship with. The old man in those last couple episodes, he was probably my favorite character. Whereas I noticed in this season, there's more characters who are like that, who we actually care about, which was really cool. Like, I like that guy who's there with his mom, and his mom didn't know he was there. She's like, what are you doing here? He's like, Mom, what are you doing here? So, like, that was kind of cool how they were bonded throughout that season. But she didn't want him there, and he didn't really want her there. But both of them had to do what they had to do. And neither one of them knew the other person owed that much debt. So they're like, what? You know, they had that Thanos guy, the rapper guy with the purple hair. He was kind of cool. every season of every show has to have some type of a-hole or bully or whatever you want to call it. And he really played his role. And he was actually a really memorable character. And then there's that one girl. She was a cutie pie. She got killed off kind of early. I was like, man, I liked her. And then Thanos, he kind of liked her too. But I really like the characters. They had a transgender character. I notice now with Netflix, every show now has to have a transgender, but that's a different topic. But this transgender was actually a good character. Alright, with the military background, training, and all that stuff. This person was a combat veteran or something like that. So shout out to that character. Now, back to the games a little bit. I also like the game, I call it the merry-go-round game, when there's everybody on this platform, it's spinning for some time, and then once the music stops, everybody has to go through these doors, but there's a specific number that they need inside of each room. So if they call out 3, you need 3 people in each room, but if you don't have that magic number, all y'all get killed. Like, that and the other game I talked about, those were my favorite 2 games, because that stuff really had me on the edge of my seat. Like, I didn't want these people to die. Like, I wished they were all surviving, but that's the nature of the beast. Ooh, and another thing I really liked about this season was the relationships between the characters. That and how they kind of focus more so on the voting. You know how after every game you get to vote whether you want to continue to the next game or not? I really like the dialogue this time around with the individual characters, not just talking amongst themselves, but I like how certain characters would give a speech in front of everybody, not just the main character, but I thought the people on both sides, whether they voted yes or no, I thought it was really good how some of those guys would give a speech to the other side to try to influence them on how to vote, which some of it convinced the other team or the other side, some of it didn't convince them. But I really like the dialogue. It was really good. Oh, man. But this show is about betrayal. This show is about trust, teamwork, relationships. One thing, the main thing is trust. Like, if you can't trust your teammates or your partners in these games, you will most likely get killed. Like one of the games when they were in the groups of 5, I like how they were encouraging each other. Stay calm. Just stay calm. You can do this. You got this. And they don't know if they got it either way, but us watching it on the couch, I'm on the edge of my seat like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not moving a muscle just watching this stuff. But it was really good. Really good stuff. One thing I didn't really get was, like I said, there's spoilers, so towards the end, like the last 2 or 3 episodes, the rebellion part, I'm like, why didn't they just grab all the ammo from the workers when the rebellion ended? The initial part of the rebellion. So after the fighting breaks out between both groups at night, right? The main character and his friends, they hid under the beds. And then they pretty much ambushed the workers once they walked in, right? But wasn't it already established that they're supposed to take all the ammo? Remember how they put all the guns and the ammo in the middle? And then the people who wanted to help shut the stuff down, they went with the main character, right? and everybody else stayed behind in the sleeping area or the common area. Well, then later, they're like, we're out of ammo. And they send this one guy to go back and look for as much ammo as he can get, from their jackets, the workers' jackets. But I'm like, wait, why didn't they check the jackets before they went on their mission? You would think they would have known that the ammo was already in there, even if they hadn't figured it out till later that they were in the jackets. Why didn't they pat down the workers first and foremost? And I also noticed in this season, actions really have consequences. Like, when that guy was a little B who was supposed to get the ammo and he didn't come back because he was, terrified, that affected everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I also like how each character kind of has a different relationship with the main character. Like, one of the guys was his best friend, outside of the games. And the main character didn't know he was going to be there either. But I like the way they were kind of talking stuff throughout that season. That was kind of cool. Because it still reminded you that these people are still human beings. That ain't you're reminded because you see the evil nature of when they were attacking one another, when they were trying to scare one another, use fear tactics, they were lying on each other. It's like the haves and the have-nots, right? The Starbelly Sneetches from Dr. Seuss. I like the scene where, in the bathroom, how the people who wanted to continue the games, they started to assault the ones who wanted to end the games. And then those people turned around and said, these people try to jump us. And they're like, you're a damn liar, man. They attacked us. And then there's division between both groups. It was really good. The way these people were carrying on and fighting for what they believed in. And the hatred in this season was real. The hatred between this group and that group was totally real. But the main character, he understood, yo, they might disagree with us, they might hate us, but at the end of the day, it's not about that. It's not about us versus them. It's about us versus the people upstairs. So we got to work past this crap and work together. Put our differences aside for the greater good. That stuff was deep. Oh, man, that stuff was deep. Let me fast forward to the ending. The ending had me spooked. I'm like, what? Y'all gonna end it like this? That's why I say that season 2 is totally different, because season 1 was about getting from the first game to the last game and surviving. Whereas this game is about surviving, period. After the rebellion broke out, those last 2 episodes, the way they left it on a cliffhanger, I'm like, what? Y'all can't leave the season like this. In a sense, I like this season better because it feels more like a movie. It's like, yo, this is a great sequel. And they knew not to just repeat what they did in season 1 with there being another winner in the final episode. In this season, there's not a winner or a loser. Well, the losers are the people who already died. But they really made this one feel like a cinematic movie. I'm like, dang it, man. So, what's next? I'm not really sure. I'm assuming the people on the outside who are looking for the island where the games are taking place, I'm assuming they're gonna crash the party and, you know, come in and save everybody who's left. But I don't even know. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with the main character. And it was a B when he was betrayed by, oh boy. I'm like, dang, man, we needed that guy. But I don't know what's going to happen with that, because now he's captured. I don't know what's going to happen with the people outside who are looking for the island. Are they even going to find it? Or do they have traitors amongst their ranks? You know. And then what about the people who are left behind in the common area? The people who didn't volunteer to fight? Will they be on punishment? Will the workers think that they were in on the rebellion somehow? Or will they all just get killed? I don't know. But something tells me season 3 is going to be the end of it all. Like, there won't be another Squid Games. Unless if it takes place on a different island somewhere. Or in a different country or continent. Or whatever. But it was interesting stuff. I think I watched the whole season 2 in like 2 or 3 days. So I loved it. It had its little issues with little plot twists. Not plot twists, but plot holes, like with the ammo, that thing. But that was really about it. Great characters, great plot, good story, really good tone, good character development. Not just the characters themselves, but people were developing. I love that stuff. And I loved how I cared about some of these characters. That stuff was great. But right now I'm watching Hellbound Season 2. And I'll talk about that at some point. So let me know what you think of this video. Thanks for watching. Peace.